I agree, Snoopy. All right, you good? We're
Yeah.
ready to start this? Oh, joy. All right. Hello. Welcome to another episode of The Mindless Show. It's average looking again, isn't it? It's like your theme, Kazuma. It's just like every time you're on the show, it looks average as fuck.
Thank you. That's a very nice compliment.
It's just circumstance. I didn't plan it that way. I promise. So I am your host, Mr. Mindless, and today's topic is anime. I've got Sahara Desert.
Hi, it's been a while.
Yes, welcome back.
Hello.
It's been a long time. It's been, season 2? Even though this is between season 3 and... I don't even know when the hell it is right now. It was a while, let's just say that. And of course, we've got Kazuma, who's been the past couple of episodes. Yeah, if I'm thinking of how it's all being filmed, I don't know. Stuff happens.
From how it's filmed, yes.
From how it's filmed, yes.
Don't know about release.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. So yeah, we're going to talk about anime, because we're fucking weebs. I tried to say that and not be harmful against us. Hi. It's really fucking awkward when you've got a pillow on your back and you're trying to like, oh, should I relax or should I sit up normally? Because I need to face you guys and also be in control. As you can tell with this shitty beard, not in control. So we'll start off with Sahara's topic of conversation. With
Paprika. And
yeah, it's a slip.
it is. And it's beautiful.
I'll take a slip.
Yeah, so this is a film by Satoshi Kon. He is one of my favorite directors. I mean, he passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a while ago.
Well, this was 2006.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh.
It says on the back, and I watched it last night, and it said 2006 copyright at the end of the film. I'm not even joking.
What did you think of it? Because I'm not going to lie, it's been a while since I watched Paprika. Kind of vaguely remember what it's about.
So I just saw it like glowing there. I'm like, did he turn off the screen? Oh, did I turn off the screen? It doesn't matter. It's off now. It's good. It's all recording. What was your question? Did I like the film?
Yeah, what did you think about it?
I accidentally picked it up because this is my copy. I've had it for a while now, and I haven't watched it. I only watched it yesterday because I was going to watch a different film, and I was like, oh shit, I totally have Paprika, and we got anime tomorrow. But let's watch that. And I was a bit off-put during the whole film, only because I'd accidentally watched the Japanese dub first, which I'm not against watching the Japanese dub. It's just if it has an English dub, I like to watch that first mainly so I understand the film better, because not all the English translations are perfect.
So you're uncontrolled swine.
But also because it's a fucking animation. I don't want to be reading subtitles while all this beautiful luxury of stuff like in this film is going on. Because this film combines 3 of my favorite things, which is going completely berserk with what you have visually, which in an anime I love, especially this one, mainly because the film tackles dream sequences, which is another favorite thing of mine, and film references, or just film in general, and one of the character storylines is about film, and it's just great, and I love it. Yeah, and the music's really good too. Yeah.
It's really trippy.
Oh, it's beautifully trippy, but like it was so tricky to figure out what's real and what's not, and I'm just gonna always assume that they're in a dream. But then even at the end, when they're kind of in a dream, but not, at the same time, it's like mixing reality. I'm thinking like, I'm questioning like how tense should this be? Like, is this actually happening or is this not happening? And it's fucking happening. I feel like they should have like been a bit more like, yeah, this is fucking real. But also not real. You know, they should have. I feel like it should have been more clear and more. What's the word? It's like. Fucking it's real, like pushing it in your face, pretty much, like, you know, to
definite,
make it, more definite, to make it more tense. Because of course they did say like, oh, this is like it's reality and dreams are mixing, like they're colliding at once. And I'm like, but is it? And that was because the whole film was the question of, but is it? Yeah. Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen Paprika.
Have you seen any of these other films? There's Perfect Blue, and Tokyo Godfathers.
No, I don't think I have.
Well, as you can tell by the cover, it's pretty fucked.
Oh yeah, it's
that's
intense.
literally a parade in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they were like dolls and shit.
Yeah, and I love it too how like it opened up with the opening scene of it was a cop in a dream of the greatest show on earth, which at first I was going to send my friend a snap and be like, oh, look, I'm watching The Greatest Showman because they really want me to watch it. I know I'm not going to watch it, unless they force me to watch it, probably. And it actually was The Greatest Show on Earth, which is, if you look at them, they're both exactly the same film, except one is done better to the point that it actually won Oscars. Burn, Hugh Jackman! The Greatest Show on Earth is a film that actually came out in the... I can't remember, but it was Jimmy Stewart's in the film, and he plays a clown. He's like the best actor I can remember in it, but it's a phenomenal film. Like, it's actually them filming inside an actual circus and stuff. It's not CGI animals and fake Hugh Jackman and characters that don't exist. And it's set after the whole slavery thing and all that shit. So it's like, we put that behind us, we're now great, and we're going to go to every town, and like, it has the story going through while they're going to every town. It's pretty great. And they have that in the film. I'm like, this is really weird. And it goes to Tarzan, and then it goes to a cop film, like an actual, like, on, like, what is it, like, Murder on the Orient Express, whatever the fuck, that kind of level of stuff. Yeah, so, I don't know, it's a very fun film. You talk more about it, and about his other films as well.
I was gonna bring up Perfect Blue, like, if you want a mindfuck, whoo! How would you describe Perfect Blue?
I kind of want to ask what it's about, but I'm like, I've gone into a box set here that I'll talk about later, almost completely blind, and it's been pretty fun.
I could try to summarize it. If I remember, like, I mean, I think the main character's name is Mima. I might be completely wrong, but she's one of 3 idols from this kind of J-pop band, and she wants to split off from that to pursue her own career as like a serious actor. And oh god, sorry, yeah, it's been a while. She, like, in this pursuit, she comes across like this person who was like really obsessed with her while she was in the pop idol sort of band thing, and you know, he doesn't like the kind of new direction that she's taken with her career. She wants her back, and it's just this whole psychological thriller, and it's intense. And like in Paprika, it's hard to draw the line between what's real and what's not, because Satoshi Kon is just so good at
blending the two.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole scene in this where you think that they're at a dream, and the 2 characters, I guess you could say the 2 main characters, the old man and the woman, the alternate of Paprika, they're walking down a hallway, which is glass on the side because it's between 2 connecting buildings, and all of a sudden a giant doll just appears next to them and just like screeches and blows out the glass, and they're like, fuck, we're still on a dream. Of course, they don't actually say, fuck, we're still on a dream, but they pretty much get the idea of, like, shit, we're still on a dream, but they're also in reality. And it's like, Christopher Nolan watched this. Or watched all of his films and, like, I want to make my own fucked up dream sequence, but I'm crap at anime. I assume he's never done anime, so we don't know.
I'm going to guess so as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we all know how Inception turned out, and, you know, dream shit. That's not why I like dream stuff, by the way. It's David Lynch's films are all dreamlike and shit. It's great. But yeah, this is definitely a very interesting exploration of that, and I'm keen to watch the rest of his films. Yeah. Anything else you want to mention about the director?
I think apparently he didn't actually like the film. I might be really wrong, but I think he might not have actually enjoyed making the films that he did in the end.
Okay.
I don't know why that came up. Okay, but yeah, that kind of sucks because they're great. But anyway.
Cool. I guess blending from this, because this is both... Is this wholeheartedly 3D animation? Because it's got like 2 levels of 3D. It's got like the level where it looks like 2D, like it looks like hand-drawn kind of thing, because it's 2D animation. And it looks like it's hand-drawn, but there are a lot of scenes where it's 3D, and that's usually like when you're going to different locations and shit, like turning a corner is like all 3D, or they're going down a hole or some kind of stuff like that, which just like adds to this just weird element to it all. I wouldn't say it's out of place, but it makes, I mean, the whole film's out of place, so like it just adds to it. So I guess we can talk about hand-drawn and digital animation as well as 3D. And no, we're not going to talk about Disney and Pixar and all that stuff. It's anime. Fuck you. Does anyone actually hand draw films anymore? Like, is that actually died out? Because like, I've heard about like the last hand drawn film, but I'm like, I don't know if they're stopping hand drawn.
I think in the Western world it's kind of stopped, whereas in anime or East Asia, like animation, I think it's still prevalent. Maybe not as much.
Yeah, because it's much more expensive and takes a long time. So I feel like directors
would.
who have the time and money put it into it. But
I wouldn't be surprised if Miyazaki's new film is hand drawn. That comes out sometime soon.
Yeah, because there's one to come out this year, and I think one's already come out this year actually, and that one has come out for Western audiences. I include ourselves in Western because we pretty much get Japanese stuff at the same time as the West. And
sometimes we get it at the same time as Japan.
Yeah, if we're lucky, because usually like Madman and shit produce it here.
Yeah, because
they're good at doing that.
I think I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure we got Your Name before the America.
Fuck,
like
about Your Name.
That was a really good movie.
Quite a bit, but
yeah,
I don't remember. I was in Japan when Your Name came out, and I was interested in seeing it in the cinema, but probably made the right decision not to see it because I wouldn't understand every word.
Yeah. I mean, I was planning on going to Japan, and one of the things I wanted to do.
I would have understand words, but like not sentences.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still planning on doing it at some stage, in like a year or two or whatever. But like, one of my things I want to do there is go see both an English film and the Japanese film, just to see how mostly audience kind of stuff, like both not like how they project and shit. I don't really. It's more of I want to see how Japanese audiences interact with Japanese stuff. And how they react to American stuff, mostly American, because I don't know if they'd have anything British or definitely not Aussie, but that kind of stuff, just an English film, because it would be...
Japan's a very nationalistic country, so I wouldn't be surprised, like this is going off just assumption right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if they support their own, like, entertainment products. Comparative to
I'd say that
Western.
they do, because from all the stuff that comes out of Japan, like, I think, who are the major, like, film people pretty much in the world? Like, outside of...
I wouldn't know, like, film.
Yeah, because there's been, like, well, I mean, yeah, because, would you
like,
say Japan's mostly a lot of anime TV rather than film?
No, that's complete crap. Japan has its own, like, drama, which is incredibly popular over there, and like their own films that are very popular over there. Whereas in the Western world, really the only thing that's popular from Japan is anime or games.
Yeah, no, I mean with Japan, like with the anime specifically, like because I know they've got all their game shows and shit like that, but I mean like when it comes to anime, like do they do like majority TV or majority films? Because I think it's grown from film to TV over time with like all the shit that my friends watch in high school. There's a lot of Japanese TV.
Yeah, so Japan has this thing where they do seasonal anime. So it's like TV shows over each season, for instance, summer, spring, autumn, winter.
Yeah.
So for instance, I'm pretty sure it's in the spring season of anime right now. And like, for instance, I'm watching some animes like Watakoi, which is anime about two otakus coming together as they've both, or one of them, the main female lead, has been dumped by her boyfriend because they find out she's into anime and games and all that. So they get together on a contract, well not contract, but like agreement that they'll be for each other. Sorry about that. Be for each other because everyone else isn't accepting them. But in their workplace, there's another couple that's exactly like them, it's a rom-com. It's pretty good. But otherwise, that's like 12 episodes over one season, and yeah, it's usually 12 weeks a season.
Yeah, that's I would say that's like American TV as well, where they do that kind of stuff. But then, if you look at a show like Supernatural, they release like 2 seasons a year, and that's like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, do you have nothing better to do? And they have nothing better to do.
I think comparing Western TV schedules to anime seasonal schedules is much different. Like,
Yeah.
anime is like so fine-tuned on like a set period of time. Then it's like a week or two break. Then it's more anime, week or two break after that, and so on.
Yeah.
It's never like there's never like 3 weeks break of new anime. That it's like always got something on. And there's also like shows that spread over 2 seasons. For instance, recent anime, Darling in the Franxx, where it's spread over from summer to spring, if I'm going right by seasons. And it's it's going to be 24 episodes, so it goes into those 2 weeks, and then it keeps on going.
Okay. I guess we can divulge back to hand-drawn and digital animation. So I just want your opinions on it, pretty much. Like, I don't want to make the argument saying that one's better than the other. It's like saying, I don't know, it's like the stupid argument of 70mm versus 4K. I'm not going to go into that kind of shit, you know. Let's just talk about hand-drawn versus things. And if you want to mention, like, a favourite of film or TV show, one of the 2 categories, and go for it.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, but I mean, like, you know, some people don't have things to go off. That's how the show rolls. We don't know what we're doing.
I would say probably my most, like the most recent, I'm gonna say it was digitally drawn, I'm gonna assume. Anime film would have been Your Name. Boy and the Beast, unless that was Hannah. I'm not that
Yeah. It's so confusing these days to know which one's which. Like, you can tell with older films when they use computer stuff, but outside of that, like, yeah. And sometimes even early computer stuff was just putting a 3D
I'll just
element.
check if Boy and the Beast was hand-drawn. Because I've read the manga and this art style looks really similar. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I know there was definitely CG in it though. But
Yeah, there is.
It's one film I haven't watched yet. I need to at some stage, I think. I mean, look, I watched Your Name because I felt like it, and it was not a great idea. Fuck, I hate sad animes. This is why I don't like anime anymore. Like, I watched The Silent Voice last year in cinema, and fucking hell was that just sad as shit. I'm like, why did I put myself through this? But it was more or less, it was like, hey, I'm watching an anime film in cinema. That's pretty cool. I've never really done that before. And the only other Japanese film I've seen in cinema was Shin Godzilla. So that's my range of Japanese films, by the way. It's Godzilla and anime. And other stuff. Martial arts stuff as well. I don't know. I've got interesting tastes in
So, with anime, like at the start, so you prefer dubbed over subbed?
It depends on how I'm watching it. Like, I don't mind going to like, say, if it's like a theater or whatever, or if it has to be subbed, I don't care. Like, I'm not really going to make the argument, but if I have the opportunity to watch the dubbed and it's a good dub, or at least a decent cast and decent lip syncing, then I don't mind it. It's mostly because it's an animation. I'd like to indulge in the animation a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm listening to what they're saying whilst watching what's happening, it's usually easier than to read and watch at the same time, like to flick between. Yeah. Like Paprika, for example, like you want to just watch the whole thing because it's
very hard to follow if you're not actually paying attention.
It's such a visual experience too. Over like most of what they say, it's pretty much just like exposition about characters. Like it's not overly important. Like, oh, this is how this thing works, and these people like it's still subtle at times, but still mostly just expositional stuff. That's not saying you need to ignore it, but I'm just like, you know, you don't really want to have to read that when you're looking at something like a giant baby exploding. Like, you know, that didn't exactly happen. It was a giant old man that exploded, but still. It's such a great film. I like appreciating things over time, especially. Yeah. But Your Name was that was not what I was expecting. Like A Silent Voice, I didn't know what to go into when I was watching it because I had no description. My friend Ian was like, "Hey, come watch this film with me in the cinema." I'm like, "All right, cool." But then Your Name, I was like, all I'd known was about 2 people who switch bodies, and I thought it was as generic as that. But no, it gets much more intense. And the twists, especially, just comes out of nowhere. I'm like, this is a great film, and I hate it. Just, I don't like thinking of how the film works in like chronological order, after the end, because it doesn't make any sense.
Have you seen much Japanese anime comedy?
Fuck, like specifically to film or to TV or just in general?
Oh, in general, like, it doesn't matter if it's TV, it doesn't matter if it's film.
I don't know, because I don't think I've watched one that's directly comedy. Most things just have comedic antics that happen within it. Like,
Oh, okay.
Miyazaki's first film, the Castle Cagliostro. Let me read what it says. It's Cagliostro. That one, it's a action comedy. So like the comedy moments are mostly kind of childish stuff, but also like kind of body harm humor kind of stuff. Like, you know, like someone getting hit by a ball or that kind of shit. Like there's humor like that, but you know, I don't think I've ever watched anything that's directly a comedy for comedic purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like Japanese humor is pretty different to Western humor, in the sense that Western humor is more about, like, I don't know, sexual jokes and...
Yeah, it's more crude humor.
Crude's probably the better word. Whereas, I just feel like, for instance, Japanese comedy is just, like, is outlandish, but centered on, like, they actually know what they're speaking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, again.
That's right.
But yeah, I just think, personally, after watching so many anime, and like, I love TV shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Sad that I'm pretty sure it's ending now. Like, I think it hasn't been renewed.
After season 5.
Yeah, I think so. I heard about it, but I could have read wrong. But whereas there's like a bunch of anime, for instance, an anime that I've been waiting for like 7 years, got a new season in Full Metal Panic, and
is that the Fullmetal Alchemist
no,
thing? Oh no, that's
it's got nothing to do with it. It's a rom-com mecha action anime with military aspects.
You sure it's the Fullmetal Alchemist?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because there's no mechas in Full Metal Alchemist.
I wouldn't know, to be honest. I've never actually watched that Reddit.
Unless you count a suit of armor being alive, a mecha, then there's no mecha.
It's possible. It's possible.
But basically, this anime, this was one of the first things I'd like laugh really hard and out loud at. And going back to, it was the dub that I watched of it. And because I watched it 6 or 7 years ago, I tried watching like the first episode in subbed, and I just went, no, I can't. This is like, I just love the dubbed version of it so much, because I just thought they all fit like their characters really well. For instance, I feel like I watched Bakuno in dubbed, and I haven't really watched anything else dubbed. I think I've only watched those two things fully dubbed.
If I had a trailer playing every single time you mention a new show, this episode would probably go till tomorrow.
You wouldn't have seen Bakuno or Durara?
I've seen Durara, yes.
So,
I haven't seen the second season, but I don't know.
Bakuno is like a spiritual prequel to Durara, and it's basically like you might like it, it's like a gangster sort of anime, which is not like Japanese gangsters, it's like European.
Okay.
And basically the main character is immortal. But realistically, they don't really focus on him much. What's amazing about Bakuno is they touch on nearly every character like their main character, but then they're not. And it's just so well done that all the characters have their own stories, and then suddenly throughout the anime they intertwine with each other.
Yeah, I've seen shows like that have done that really well. But yeah, that's pretty much just like, we don't really have a main character, or like, I mean, it'll be like Harry Potter, but Harry Potter is in like 5% of the whole franchise.
No.
Well, probably not the whole franchise, it goes for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. it does seem interesting because even Drara itself is kind of like that. But the focus is more on like kind of duos or trios of different people. Yeah, and really much the only people I can remember is the woman with the helmet that's actually headless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what got me
scientist.
into the show because a friend of mine, I'd seen that cosplay of the biker at like Supernova or some shit. Like in my
How do you do
first
that
year going there.
cosplay?
Literally it's a black leather suit all the way down with the helmet.
Oh, okay.
That's it. But the helmet was really well made. It's I feel like it was actually like official merchandise kind of shit, but like it was pretty fucking spot on.
The helmets you can easily get a helmet that's like that.
Yeah, but yeah,
It's
that's
not
the thing. I saw that, I'm like, what the hell is that? I described it to my friend, and they're like, oh, it's Drora. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll watch that. And then I did, and I liked it.
Yeah, it got a second season recently.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. That was like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Recently. Yeah.
Yeah, well, recently is 2 years ago.
I would watch it, but I can't be fucked.
Retrospect. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like dedicating more time to watching anime films rather than TV shows. Like, I haven't watched like the Ghost in the Shell shows because I can't be bothered putting in the time and effort, but I really love the film itself, even the sequel film that they made for it. I mean, that's an interesting comparison. Again, back to the hand-drawn and digital stuff, because the first Ghost in the Shell has digital stuff in it, but not that much. But then the second film is full-on CGI, which is just it feels like an upgrade in a way. Like, I mean, it shows about technology. If you understand that, like, that's why an upgrade. Not as in like, oh, because it's better than hand-drawn. I'm like, it fucking depends on the film. Like, you know, who cares? But yeah, it's fun stuff. And Akira. I
was gonna bring that up. Like, the art style just seems so distinct from what I usually associate with like a standard anime art style, if you could really say there is. But like character design was just the first thing that kind of stood out to me as just being very unorthodox.
I mean, I like when it comes to hand-drawn, because digital you can pretty much do anything. I said in literally the broadest amount of terms. But with hand-drawn, which I think I like more about it sometimes, is how limited you can be of it. Like, the lights in Akira, just like, they drew lights to move. It's just like, how the fuck did you do that? And then you've got, like, Ghost in the Shell, where
a lot of time of work.
Oh, yeah, and then you've got Ghost in the Shell, which has the same thing, like, where, like, the famous scene where she's chasing the bad guy and she's invisible and going through the water, and like that whole scene is fantastic, and it's all hand drawn. It's just like that's like the kind of unbelievable factor that they actually draw all this shit. Like, if you look at a film like My Neighbor Totoro, it's like it makes sense because it's cartoony and whatever, but this is like garnered for like kind of ultra realism, and it's like fucking amazing to look at. And I guess that's pretty much why they're some of the most famous hand drawn animations. Yeah, but I think that's really the only comparison of like the challenges.
Yeah,
how much more effort you really got to put into it.
Going back to character design, I feel like character design's become more general, like generalist or generalized. For instance, I've seen like certain anime's characters always look the same. For instance, in every isekai anime, especially because it's now really popular, stupidly popular, all the characters look similar to a character called Kirito from Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
For instance, there was this anime where a guy, well, it's isekai for one, is an anime where it's like they're transported to another world. And for instance, this guy gets transported to another world with his phone, and he's able to do shit with it, and that's the whole anime, as well as a bunch of, like, he gets a harem of girls basically following him because of that, and the character looks similar. Not like he's not incredibly similar, but look, in a general sense, if you compared Kirito to this character, they look very similar.
There's an anime I haven't exactly seen it, but I've seen most of the parts where it's the same kind of deal where it's the main story is set in this whole fictional world, but like it's pretty much about this kid who likes this girl and can't send he's trying to send something to her and shit's going wrong with his phone, and it's the main characters are inside his phone and they've got a very ununique level of animation to them. Like they all look like the same. They all look like emojis, which is really weird. And it's just...
Do you know which anime this was?
I think it's called the Emoji Movie, but I don't exactly recall. It's like such garbage that I don't want to watch it.
Oh, that's not anime anyway.
No, it's just garbage, and I just want to make a joke about it. I'm sorry.
I've never seen the Emoji film or whatever.
I feel the seed.
It's supposed to not be good.
They have it on 4K.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I want to touch on this box down here.
Yeah.
This beautiful white box. Racism implied. I will get rid of the paper slippy. I've got it because it makes it look even cooler. It's called the Complete Collected Works of Hayao Miyazaki. Of course, a famous director for fucking anime, but also because he was one of the main dudes in Studio Ghibli, and...
Well, he is the main dude in Ghibli. He's not one of them, he is the main dude.
If you look at this, you'll notice that you can't see shit because that's how white it is, which I don't like. It's the one thing that's like, it's so white, you can't even tell that there's actually a creature on the front, and that it actually has words. So it's like, it looks like a white box, and it's on the back and the front.
And it is a white box.
But then you open it, and you've got the wrong side. Ta-da! It's colourful. So this is literally all these works, including a whole bunch of cards here. This is my presentation. Take a look, she.
Let's have these.
They're pretty rad, actually. They're little like movie cards.
Oh,
You got a booklet which goes on about every single film, into pretty decent detail. You've got yourself. This one's just a bonus disc. So I think it's just like documentaries and shit. And then
Did
you
you end up watching The Wind Rises?
Yes. So
I want to hear your opinion
my
on
friend
that.
here had mentioned The Wind Rises, so I'm like, I might actually watch that before we actually did the anime episode. And so I took a look at, so I'd already seen, I'd already seen Totoro, Mononoke, and Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and Ponyo, to the point that Howl's Moving Castle was my first ever anime that I saw, because my dad was like, hey, this is a cool one, go watch this, and it was amazing. And to put on the basic level, they're all the covers are very designed for this thing, for the box set. Like, it's a specific screenshot with the Japanese name of the title, but then you open it up and it's actually got the actual cover for it, so I won't make it so obvious, but like it's pretty much just tells you what the film is and shit like that. They don't have runtimes from what I can tell. But it's pretty much like, here's the general cover, here's the one for the special box set, which is pretty cool. But then when you suggested The Wind Rises, because I'm like, oh, I think I have that on Blu-ray because it was in the box set.
It was.
I watched it and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Then I followed that up with...
Thought you would.
Yeah, then I followed it up with Kiki's Delivery Service, Porco Rosso, and Castle Cagliostro. I can never pronounce it right because I don't know what the hell language it's in. Anyway, still probably Japanese to be honest, because it's based on like a TV show based on a manga. It's just like, you don't really need to go into it knowing shit. It's like watching the first Indiana Jones film, thinking that there's a backstory to him. You don't need to know the backstory exactly. It's just there. It's just an adventure film.
Have you watched Ponyo?
Yes, I watched that in high school.
Oh, okay.
Literally for class. We had woodwork.
I think, I
Yeah,
remember
and
that.
literally we were making boats, and our teacher was like, I want to show you a film where they make boats, and it was Ponyo. They don't really make boats in Ponyo.
They make boats
Putt-putt
larger.
boats. they had putt-putt boats, and that's what we were making in school, and so they showed us Ponyo, and I was just like, I don't care, I love this film.
It was great.
And then I made a shitty boat, and it didn't work. But yeah, this has a whole bunch of stuff. I'll get some bonus footage after this. Just like, it's all like little posters and all in Japanese, and I love it.
But you can't read it, unfortunately.
I don't need to. I know what the hell it says. But I was watching this, and I'm thinking like, especially after watching The Wind Rises, I'm like, this guy really likes his planes.
Yep.
And it's Italy also, mostly Europe, but Italy and Germany in particular. Like, I mean, Kiki's set in Germany, and yeah, they've got Japanese names anyway.
What, the Wind Rises? No, it's set in Japan.
No, I said Kiki.
Oh.
Wind Rises, yeah, is Japan, but then he also goes to Germany.
Yeah.
And he meets Hitler. No, but he does meet Nazis. But like a lot of them, on the whole auteur thing, he definitely has his own shit running for each film. Like, he loves planes and boats.
Yeah.
And it's kind of really nice. Like, sometimes it can be pretentious and whatever, like, oh, we get it, it's fucking fetish with boats and whatever. I'm like, yeah, but it's really cool. Like, as if, I feel like Miyazaki just fucking researched planes for, like, his whole life, and it's like, oh, I want to put them in movies, and he did, and it's amazing. Obviously not in all of them, but, like, some of them have the whole thing of flying and stuff like that, and escapism.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what it all alludes to in the end. It just alludes to some kind of escapism, whether from reality or in reality, you know.
Yeah, like for instance,
take a
in
look?
Wind Rises, that sort of escape from reality would be his dreams. With I don't remember the other plane, like whatever designer or creator his name, but like with that Italian guy, he always dreams about like talking with him to like go through like his designs and
And
stuff.
that whole thing is also another escape from realism that I really like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a dream sequence. I'm like, what the fuck, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But the animation, especially, what really caught me in Rise in particular, the earthquake.
Yeah.
That fucking scene, I'm like, because I had no idea this was like the older version of the kid. I had a suspicion. I'm thinking like, they've just cut this old dude, and I haven't even really consciously been like, oh shit, we're looking at a completely different character. But I'm like, I feel like unconsciously, I'm like, yeah, it's the same character, or it's like someone related to the main character, it being the main character anyway. But then, just that whole earthquake scene, I'm just like, that and that whole dream sequence with him with the guy on the plane. I'm just like, this is animation at its finest to some degree. I don't know if it's better, but like, yeah, arguably so. Everything's opinionated these days.
Well, I
but
would
yeah.
say stylistic-wise, there's probably nothing that beats the Wind Rises, but animation-wise, there's obviously going to be films that are better because, you know, animation improves with better technology.
Yeah.
But by far, Wind Rises is very, very good and very, like, artsy.
How many of these films have you watched?
Ooh, I know I haven't watched all of them. Let's
No,
see.
I still haven't watched the second two there because I didn't get around to it. I decided on Paprika instead, which I really like that I watched. But it is an immense box set.
Yeah, seen 6 of these.
Yeah, I've seen 5.
Damn, I win. 9 of 11. Oh no, that's a bad number. Hi. Yeah, I still need to watch the bonus disc too. Like, I feel like I get more out of that. But no, it's just like, and the only one, because I watched Wind Rises and Porco and Kiki all in their English dub,
Yeah.
which I think Kiki's has the lowest quality in the audio dub. Like, it's really fucking good. Especially the Wind Rises. I played John fucking Krasinski as the second, like, the best friend to Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm like, even though I didn't even recognize Gordon-Levitt's voice because he's such a normal sounding voice, like everyday kind of dude kind of voice, which is the kind
I
of point,
just remember him from 500 Days of Summer and wants to kill myself. I had to study that in Year 12.
Yes, but John Krasinski especially, and Emily Blunt, like fuck, like after watching A Silent Place, I'm like, A Quiet Place, A Silent Voice, A Quiet Place.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Who names? But yeah, I think it was the only one I actually saw in Japanese, because I've seen the majority of them in their original Japanese. I haven't watched them in their recent English dubs. Because even though it says, like, on the box, it's like, oh, you know, they've all been... What does it actually say? It says something about they've been... It doesn't say. It says it here, I think. Like, complete feature-length works of Hayao Miyazaki, there was world-renowned artist, auteur, and founding member of Electronic Studio Ghibli. This special edition box set collects Miyazaki's 11 feature films. It took me a while to pronounce his name, by the way.
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, Hayao Miyazaki. I didn't know if I was like saying it wrong or right. It was ridiculous. So from the Castle of Cagliostro or Lupin III to the Academy Award nominated. Fucking hell, they had to shove that in, didn't they? The Wind Rises. Nominated. The fuck did it lose to? Ponyo. Why do people hate Ponyo? It's weird.
People just think it's his worst film.
Yeah, I feel
and
like it's
that's
just-
the only reason why they hate it. Well, hate. I don't think it's hate. I just think they
Yeah,
think
it's like the Jackie
disappointment.
Brown of Tarantino films. It's like they don't hate it. It's just you don't really want to go back and rewatch it. I like Ponyo though.
Ponyo's good.
I watched it as a kid, and I feel like that's the appreciation. Like again, kid, teenager, 13, but that's the kind of appreciation you want. It's a kid's film. It's not really like Totoro is a kid's film, but he wouldn't enjoy it as an adult because it's fucking great. And offers a rare look at some of his earlier works presented with English translations for the first time. So some of these were actually given their... I thought that was wholeheartedly English dub for the first time, which I didn't mind that it wasn't, because Lupin Free is all in sub. It's not in dub, but at the same time, like, I didn't mind that. Like, if sometimes the subtitles flow well enough, it's like, yeah, I like this.
Lupin's like a very large anime series. There's like so many films and TV
Yes,
shows.
I researched it after watching the film. Like, oh, that's why. Because I thought
I'm pretty sure there's like over 20.
Yeah, Lupin
TV
Free
info.
refers to Lupin the Third, not
Lupin
Free. I thought it was like the third film thing. Really, I'm watching the third film. No, it's the second film actually, which I don't mind at all. Like I hadn't even seen the first one. I'm like,
I'm pretty sure there's like 20 films.
Oh, there are a lot, but like this has like a particular series of films
Yeah.
that is like that. But like all these characters set up like you have your main character, whatever he does his shit, but then like all the side characters that get introduced. It's like they're the kind of characters that you watch this in the theater and you'd have actual fans be like, yeah, I love this character, and you'll be like, yeah, you know, it's just there, and you're like, okay, I accept this because they seem like they're characters in this universe, and they've obviously been set up previously, but I don't care. It's more or less like you get enough setup to continue the film. Like I was kind of just compared to Avengers: Infinity War, but I'm like, I probably shouldn't do that. Yeah. In that film, they just have like one-off lines of dialogue just to kind of like be like, this is what happened in my previous film or whatever, so audiences know what the fuck's going on or who they are and whatever. So usually throwaway gags and shit. So you know, it's interestingly done. So this one's just an adventure film pretty much. Yeah, I compare it pretty simply to Indiana Jones. You know, it's going into that blind and like you come out of it knowing who the characters are and everything, or knowing enough to not be disappointed. Yeah.
Do you watch seasonal anime?
I'm gonna say no. I think
put that on the floor? Yeah.
I think the only anime series I'm gonna assume that was seasonal that I've watched fully was Clannad.
Oh yeah.
Never
Did
seen
you
it.
watch After Story?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Was it? Is it worse?
I'm talking
It's more crying.
More cry.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's fine for you.
No, I really liked Clannad though. Like, I didn't expect to sit through all of it, but I did. And yeah, it was just really sad.
I haven't seen it. My friend Yang Yang gave it to me a while ago, back in year 8. I haven't seen it. I had it on my computer. I think I deleted it. I'm yet to...
Clannad's very good, but
I've heard good
prepare
things.
for like wanting to
Kill myself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like your name.
sadness.
Fucking hell.
Oh, it's worse. It gets
Intense.
without trying to spoil it, because I forget if it's in After Story
Assume I'll never
or
watch it because I'll probably never
okay
watch it.
in After Story, or is it in what's the ending of the regular anime? I forget.
I mean, yeah, it's been ages.
What does
Has he had a kid in the regular?
I want to say, maybe I did watch After. I want to say yes. I know a kid was born.
Okay. Yeah. So you probably know.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think then it was the regular.
But yeah, the kid
So-
dies. Ugh.
They build up the relationship between Nagasia and the main lead, and their relationship is like throughout the whole anime. They get married, they have a kid. She dies whilst giving birth. The kid, like he's like obviously looks after the kid. The kid then dies as well, and he's left alone.
Thank God I'm not watching this anime. It sounds just like my cup of tea.
I don't know if the last part is After Story or if it's Path
of it.
Irregular.
When you say after story, do you mean like a second season, or do you mean like an over or something?
It's a second season.
Okay. Because I have no idea what the fuck over means. Like, there's so many overs for sure. I'm like, do I have to watch that between
Over is
these
like
shows?
just like a
Just like extra stuff?
episode that probably has nothing to do with the overarching story.
Yeah,
of the
it's like the
series.
chibi and stuff like that. Like, it's just like a...
No, not even chibi.
Specifically like Ruby Chibi, for example.
It's like
which is an anime.
Usually how overs come out is they sell them with the manga. So you can buy a manga and it comes with a DVD and that DVD has the over on it.
Oh yeah, like game documentaries in the newspaper.
Yeah, something like
It's
that.
kind of weird that they did that. Here's a National Geographic documentary of your herald son. I don't buy those papers anymore, or read the paper anymore. I watch David Attenborough documentaries instead. And buy them myself. Fuck free stuff.
Obviously, though, it's like animes that are original as well. There's not always like. I think there's a Western perception that anime is always based on manga, when there's
I'd say so, yeah.
whereas that's not entirely true. A lot of anime is obviously based on manga.
It's like with Australian cinema. It's like it's either based off a historical event or it's some kind of like not exactly adaptation, but more or less like they're trying to copy America. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty much what's defined as Australian cinema in terms of what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, when I say like that's the perception, I think it's the perception is because people are just people just think manga is like the book form, which it is in a sense, and then anime studios just go, oh, let's animate this.
Yeah, like a direct adaptation
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, it's like yeah, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah, sometimes it's not. The majority of it is.
Yeah, I think people forget that it's adapting a book or even a comic book. It's like, it's not always going to be panel to panel, word to word. It's not going to be exactly identical.
That's the thing with manga. I feel like it is more panel to panel.
Yeah,
sort of.
well, yeah. With like, I meant more like with comic books, like comic book movies, like fucking all the Marvel shit. Like,
because that's
sometimes they do it as reference rather than as
because the styles between the two are completely different.
Yeah.
One is a live action superhero film, whereas manga to anime is like very closely intertwined. Like the art styles never usually differ that much. Like fans, for instance, of a manga, and then it gets an anime announced, and then they end up watching it, and it's a completely different art style. Just like the fans would hate that, for instance. So
there's a lot more dedication into it rather than just hey references and stuff. It's no, we're actually making this legit.
Yeah, we're literally gonna make panel by panel. Like obviously, not everything gets in like from a manga to an anime. Not everything gets in from a comic book to a superhero film.
Yeah.
But I just feel like adaptations of manga to anime are more focused and closely combined, or not combined with, but like made off the manga.
Yeah. I guess closing thoughts. Anything else we want to talk about when it comes to animes? I mean, I want to put more of my, hey, look, I'm doing a film degree, shove that in the episode, but I've done enough. I mentioned my Australian screen studies thing and a bit of the auteur stuff. That's pretty much what I know. I don't know anything else.
Might have to check out some more seasonal anime.
Yeah.
Yes, moral of the story, check out more seasonal anime.
Yeah. Watch more TV anime. it's quite good. Yeah. There's just a lot of anime. There's more than people think. Like there's so much that I haven't watched because and I'll probably never watch because I just
I need to watch that volleyball one. I hear it's really gay.
It's not gay at all, actually. That free is queer,
Yeah.
but I
It's
don't
not like on the nose.
I don't
queer.
know
It's
how the pronunciation of this is, but I'll probably fuck it up. But haiku, exclamation mark is the anime that you're talking about, where the main character is Hinata Shota. And
Oh, is that the volleyball one?
yeah,
Okay, I would not know.
yeah, it's basically about like this.
My friends went on about like 3 years ago. I still don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, it's a volleyball anime basically about how this kid sees a volleyball player who's short like him, and he wants to basically become this player, and he goes to his old high school because
And he kills him and takes his flesh and becomes him.
well,
If that was the
whole
anime, I'd
point
fucking
is-
watch it.
the whole point is to become him, but not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least be like him, because basically he's someone he looks up to. And the funny thing is, nickname of the character that he looks up to is called the Little Giant, which is contradictory.
Yes. I think that's the point, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The point is because
Like Little John, and he's a big
this guy
character.
could jump so high that it was like he could jump higher than anyone else in a sense.
Cool. God, I can't. It's weird how I thought we were going to talk about anime forever because there's so much shit to talk about. I'm like, they really. Once you limit it down to like a particular person, a particular style, and stuff like that, there's really, and of course, manga adaptation stuff. There's not really much else to talk about. I mean, it's more or less just fanboying or fangirling about this anime and that anime and whatever.
Oh yeah, don't forget the waifu people or the moe or moe.
Someday we'll buy your body pillow.
I don't want one. I'm not that into anime.
I was at Supernova and they had body pillows there, and the person that I was with was like, they have body pillows, but they don't have any actual pillows. I have to buy the pillow separately. I'm like, that's kind of how it works. You're not really meant to take the body pillow with you home. It's like, just because people bring the body pillows here doesn't mean that like. Actually, it does mean that they'll be bringing it home with them, but like they take it there because they're weird.
Yeah.
And they want to express how weird they are with their anime fetishes.
Yeah.
I mean, would you ever buy one ironically?
I was going to get one for my brother, ironically, because he's got a long pillow, but it's like an L-shaped. I'm like, I would, but then he's like, no, my girlfriend would burn it. I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to like waste $50 on a burnt pillow. Yeah. So I'm like, I won't.
Yeah, I never want to buy a body pillow. I think it's very weird.
It's
Yeah. I think we should that should be like our only touching on like the weird stuff from anime. Like, yeah, we get it, it's fucked up and there's hentai and stuff, but we won't get into that stuff. Tentacle porn.
and on that note.
On that note, we all suggest watching tentacle porn. Thank you all for watching.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it was animated well. I do not defend anime porn or condemn it either.
It's not called an anime porn. You literally said it a while ago.
Okay, that's the topic of this episode: anime porn. Anime part 2. No. Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed our discussion. I think I'll definitely check out the director of Paprika's stuff, the rest of his work, and maybe Clemad. I don't know. I mean, I'm not against watching the serialized.
Have you seen
stuff,
Gurren
but
Lagann?
Probably not.
Have you seen?
Depends on how recently these came out.
Oh fuck! What? Do you know the name of the anime where it has a character called Lelouch? Fuck.
I love how he's looking at you. I'm like, hey, she doesn't know shit. I don't know shit. But yeah.
Okay, never mind then. It's
Also, What's Sort of Online is great. It's the best anime ever. But yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
Code Geass. There we go. That's a good anime.
Let's just reference animes consistently. This is why we didn't do this in the cult film episode. The cult film episode was just discussing why something's cult rather than naming all these films. It's like, we get it, you've watched shit, who cares? I'm just wasting my time watching you talking about watching shit. That's exactly why we avoided doing that in that episode. Watch Cult Films Today, has him in it. Not her, unfortunately. She was scheduled for the episode, but she wouldn't show up because... No, I'm kidding. She wasn't actually scheduled for the episode. Anyway, so yeah, it has my alternative Twin Peaks t-shirt, which looks really bad on camera. Like, because it's a t-shirt that has someone's face, like if it gets crumpled like this, it's really weird. And it's like, that's a bad idea. I'm not doing that again. But yeah, so thank you, Kazuma and Sahara Desert, for joining the Mindless Show again. I'm your host, Mr. Mindless. We have other episodes. There's descriptions, stuff. There's also, after the end of the credits, there's a thing for the channel you can subscribe, and there's the playlist stuff, because I don't want to throw it over the credits, because that defeats the fucking purpose of having the credits. Yeah. I don't think there's really much else to add. Say your goodbyes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.